What's up YouTube, Scott Lett here, owner of Pro Exterior Cleaning. I am in my neighborhood. I got a call from our HOA to come out here and clean the trash cans. They all have a pretty foul smell, as you can imagine. There's dog poop everywhere. Get that out. Pretty nasty job. 20 bucks a can. Just gonna spray some SH in there, or on this, restore the color of that, clean that out, go on to the next one, guys. So I just saturate everything with some white vinegar, SH, and some Dawn dish soap. That's already changing colors. I'm about to hit it with the ball valve here. I've got my tank filled up about halfway. I don't need a whole lot of water. I put this up against that picnic table so it doesn't move around. It's kind of wedged in there. Just using my little squirt bottle there. So I'm going to advertise today on my Facebook neighborhood page that I can clean trash cans, $20 a piece. Literally, it'll take me about 15 minutes per can. So, all right, I'm gonna go rinse these out and get everything put back together, and I'm finished. All right, guys, bear with me. It's really windy. You may not even be able to hear me at all, but I'm going to spend the remainder of my day today changing the oil in my machines. I had a job to go do for an apartment complex. They called me and said, hey, let's move to Saturday because it's supposed to storm and hail today and tornadoes, all kind of stuff. So I'm going to use the rest of the day to do some maintenance on my machine, which is way overdue. We're about 3 months into the busy season, and my machines have been getting hammered with work. So I'm going to change the oil in my 4 gallon per minute machines. My 8 gallon per minute is fine. I checked the oil on that. It's still a fairly new machine. So these are older. This is about a 3-year-old machine, and that one's about 2. So I'm going to show you guys how I change the oil. The oil that I use for the engines is this. So all my engines are Honda GX390. That's a 690. So still the same oil. And then for my high pressure pumps, I use this for my 4 gallon per minute pumps. This is a Cat pump, and so is the pump on my hot water. Now for the pump on my 8 gallon per minute, that is a General pump. I actually called them, spoke with them. They said that any high pressure pump oil would be fine. And they said that Comet is a good one they recommend. So I just went ahead and bought it since it was at Northern Tool. So how do you change oil in your machine? So this is a 4 gallon per minute belt driven machine, GX Honda 390 engine. So luckily this machine came with these little hoses here. If you take that little nut off for both the pump and the engine, it's going to drain the oil out. And I have a couple of empty containers here, some just old SH containers, and I will just remove that plug and I'll drain the oil in both of these, throw this away. And then what you do next is, once you let it all drained out, you know, it takes a few minutes. When you go back to fill up the pump, I recommend having a funnel to put in here so you don't drip anything. I also put this down so I don't get junk all over the road. But when you go to fill your high pressure pump, you want to make sure you stop at that little dot right there, okay? Don't go below it. It's not good for the pump. And if you go too high, I mean, you can go a little bit above it, but if you fill up the pump too high, the pump won't even work. Ask me how I know. I've learned a lot, guys. And then with pretty much all engines, you're going to have a dipstick on either side. Yeah, so here's my dipstick. You just twist this out and it shows you where your oil is at. This is actually pretty good. So I'm still gonna change it. It's time to change it. Get some fresh oil in there. I'm telling you guys, when these machines have fresh oil in the pump and the engine, they run better. And same with gas. I use premium gas for all my machines. I don't care how expensive gas gets. Without these machines, you're not making any money. So let's get started. I'm gonna put the phone down. I'm gonna show you guys how I drain the pump and also the engine. All right guys, I took that little nut off. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's draining pretty well. I'll let that sit for about 10 minutes. Make sure, there you go, you can see it filling up there. Let it all drain out, and then in the meantime, I'm gonna go find my funnel and then we'll fill it back up. All right guys, so that is all the old high pressure pump oil there. Got my new bottle here. Just gonna slowly pour this in. Could not find my my funnel, so I'm just gonna slowly pour it. Do that until I see that I've reached. You can kind of see where it is right there. I'm gonna keep pouring until it gets to that little bubble there, and then I'll be good. Put my cap back on, hand tightened, and that's ready to rock and roll. All right guys, that's pretty easy to see. You can tell where my oil level stopped. I'm right at the bubble, so that is perfect. Perfect. So this pump is ready to rock and roll. Take your cap. Like I said, just hand tighten this. That's all you want. Our pump's ready to rock and roll, guys. So that oil was so dirty that I could not tell where my oil level even was. So that's a good indicator. I actually just taught myself something. I couldn't tell where the oil was because it was just that ready to be changed. So you should be able to see your oil and tell where it is on this bubble. It was at the right level or maybe a little bit too high because I looked in there and there was definitely enough, but this is the best indicator, guys. Just follow that bubble there and you'll be fine. So this pump's ready to rock and roll. Well guys, when you can't find your your funnel, you take your 1/2 inch hose and 3/4 inch, you make your own funnel. so what I did, I drained my engine oil and about 25 fluid ounces came out. And you gotta put an account that some of that burned. So I'm gonna put about 28 to 30 fluid ounces back into my engine. So this comes with 32 fluid ounces. So not that this whole bottle won't go in there. I would imagine I have till about the 8 to go, but obviously my indicator is gonna be my dipstick. So just kind of how I gauge this, guys. Well guys, disregard what I just said. Always go by your dipstick. I ended up using 1 quart and that got me right where I needed to be. So this machine is done. Glad I put that down. That's how you change the oil in your engine and your high pressure pump. Scott Lett, Pro Exterior Cleaning.